Do you ever look at a full wardrobe and still feel like you have nothing to wear? Well, you're not alone, and there's a psychological reason behind this. Today, we're breaking down the mindset behind outfit fatigue and how to fix it without buying a single new piece. Outfit fatigue is basically when our brains just get bored of a certain outfit or combination that we feel like we just keep wearing on repeat, or we get sick of maybe a certain item in our wardrobes. This happens because as humans, our brains are stimulated by newness and by excitement. So if we keep seeing a piece over and over again, our brains tend to stop noticing it. Think of it like your journey to work every day. You've done it so often that we almost stop noticing that we've even passed a certain point, or that we've gotten in our cars and driven somewhere without even thinking, or we've changed stops on our trains without even realizing what we're doing, because we're so used to it that our brains we're in autopilot, so we stop noticing. And this is the same for our wardrobes. If we stop noticing pieces in our wardrobe, we're just kind of gone on autopilot and we stop seeing them in there. This can be a really good reason why we think we have nothing to wear, because we're almost not noticing some of the pieces that we see the most often. And when we do see them, we just feel a bit blah about them, like we're just not that engaged anymore. The fashion industry definitely exploits this because they are hoping that we get bored of our clothes and they can show us new things in stores and on advertisements and that we see on influencers. That creates that spark of dopamine and interest again that makes what we own feel even more boring. You might relate to this if you've ever bought a piece of clothing that you were obsessed with in the store, so excited you had to have it. You thought it was going to complete your wardrobe and you're going to wear it so much. And then a few weeks or months down the line, and you're not really reaching for it anymore, you're a little bit bored of it, and it just feels a bit meh. You may also relate to this if you kind of wear the same 2 or 3 outfits on repeat and the rest of your wardrobe gets forgotten about. So there's a couple of psychological reasons why this happens, and the first one is that novelty dopamine, otherwise known as the shopper's high. I know you know that moment of when you go to buy something new and it just feels like a rush and it's so exciting and it feels like such a treat and you get so happy about it. That is that rush of dopamine that we get when we shop. We feel this dopamine rush the moment we buy the item, but it starts to dwindle as we wear it and as we work it into our wardrobes. Wearing the item just can't recreate that initial high or dopamine rush, and so it starts to wear off and it just starts to feel a little bit boring and maybe even just a bit repetitive. And so of course that is why we go and shop again, because we're constantly seeking that high. Number 2 is decision fatigue. This is when we have too many items in our wardrobes to choose from and it makes deciding super difficult. Think of this like a menu in a restaurant. If you go in and there's 20 different items on the lunch menu, it's so hard to choose what you want to have because you have the FOMO of, well, if I pick this, then I don't get this. And it just makes it super difficult. Whereas if you go in and there's like 4 choices on the lunch menu, it's so much easier to make that decision. So the idea of having more in your wardrobe, meaning you have more options and more to wear, is so false. Obviously, it does technically mean that, like, there is more in your wardrobe, but because it overwhelms us so much, you're left with less options. You're left with that feeling of, I have nothing to wear. So by actually paring back your wardrobe and having less items hanging in there, a great way to do this is by having seasonal capsule wardrobes. So if things are off season or not weather appropriate, you're taking them out of your wardrobe so that they can kind of free you up to see exactly what you could wear today in the current weather for your current lifestyle. And it just makes that decision making so much easier. And when things feel easier, it's more enjoyable. So your outfits are just going to feel that bit more fun. Number 3 is identity shifts. We are constantly changing and growing as humans. We go from, our teenage years, childhood years first of experimenting with clothes, then our teenage years when I think we probably experiment the most. We're really trying to find ourselves and we wear all sorts of weird and wacky things. Then we go through, college, university, getting our first jobs, and then kind of whatever industry you go into, I feel like that also really changes how we dress, whether you're in a corporate environment, sort of a smart casual office, or if you're just in a more, creative environment. Not that office jobs can't be creative, but kind of everyday creative, getting your hands dirty, you're obviously going to wear different things to work. The same goes for body changes throughout your life. You're going to want to dress slightly differently, perhaps. Becoming a parent, that not only changes your body for temporarily or permanently, but also changes your lifestyle as well and what you need your clothes for. If you're going back to work, then you might revert back to your work wardrobe, but if you're planning to stay home more, you may find you need a whole new wardrobe. And I see a lot of influencers talking about this, new mums who are trying to rediscover their style again post kids, and I can't wait till I'm able to actually delve into that myself from experience. But for now, I'll just include it in this kind of lifestyle shift, identity shift, and just say that we're constantly changing, and that can tend to make us disengage from what's in our wardrobes. So it's like the old self is hanging in our wardrobes, but we feel this new self brewing, and there's just a disconnect and a misalignment between what's in our wardrobes. So as slowly as you can, try to reintroduce new pieces that do feel like you, or if there's a few tweaks you can make to your outfits that would actually feel more you. Maybe you need a more relaxed wardrobe, but you've got like loads of office wear, like tailored trousers and things like that. Can you style them with trainers and ballet flats to just make them feel a bit more dressed down? Style them with your knitwear, or style your blazers over t-shirts and jeans. Try to incorporate pieces you already have and suited your old lifestyle and your old self, and just style them in a new way. Pinterest will be your best friend for this. If you've got loads of stuff in your wardrobe, just Google blazer outfits or casual blazer outfits, or maybe you're going the opposite direction and you've got stuff you want to dress up, and how can you do that? Just keywords on Pinterest is super handy. Another reason this kind of boredom happens is overexposure. So this is when we've just seen what we have too much. Seeing your clothes in your wardrobe every day, of course we get a little bit bored. I think this happens in any area of our life. We stop appreciating what we have, not consciously, but unconsciously. The novelty wears off, and we just forget. We forget to be grateful for what's in our wardrobes. And sometimes when I'm doing my gratitude journaling in the mornings, which I don't do all the time, but I try to do as much as possible, I will literally write, I'm so grateful for all the clothes in my wardrobe, the money I've had to buy them, and the fact that I'm able to express myself through my clothes. And I'm so grateful for brands I've worked with who have given me clothes that I can create content with. Like, I try to be really grateful for my clothing, because it kind of, encompasses my whole business and my whole passion and interest in fashion. So see if you can have a little bit more gratitude for what's in your wardrobe. Maybe take a few pieces out and just try and think like how much it cost, when you bought it, and how much you've worn it, or special occasions you've worn it for, that times you've worn it and that you've felt amazing. Or even just for the fact that we can dress ourselves, keep our modesty with the clothes that we have. And another reason this can happen is that feeling of what we should wear versus what we want to wear. So we're seeing, influencers and other people wearing all of these things, and we think we should dress a certain way, or we should be wearing certain trends. And then we look in our own wardrobes and think, I don't have all of those things. Or else we are trying to dress in that way that we should wear, and it's just not aligning with us. It doesn't feel like our style. We want to lean more into that, what we want to wear. We want to dress like ourselves, like our best selves, and try as much as possible to ignore what other people are doing. So buy colours that you like, not because it's the colour of the season. Buy shapes and styles that you like. Put things together because you like them and it feels good on you, not because you've seen someone else or 20 other people wearing it that very same day. So how do you know if you are experiencing outfit fatigue? Because this might sound relatable, but maybe you're not quite sure if this is what you're going through with your wardrobe. A few signs will be you're wearing, like I said, the same outfits all the time, 2 to 3 outfits on repeat, and ignoring the rest of your wardrobe. You crave shopping even though your wardrobe is already full, likely because you're just bored of what you have. You don't exactly feel excited by pieces you buy, so again, you get that rush at the beginning, and then all of a sudden you're kind of thinking, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have bought it. Maybe it doesn't work with my wardrobe, maybe it doesn't work with my style. And you feel overwhelmed when picking outfits in the mornings. These are all just signs of a misalignment with the pieces in your wardrobe, not that you have a lack of clothing, or that you don't have enough, or that you don't have choices, because you definitely do. So what I want to do today is share a few ways that you can shift this in your own wardrobe without going shopping, and start to really love the pieces you already own. Previously mentioned, number 1 is to create micro capsules. So this could be seasonal capsule wardrobes, spring, summer, autumn and winter. This could even go further again if you're already doing that and you're still a bit bored. create micro capsules. Do one every month and just pick 30 pieces, 30 to 40 pieces for every month, and you're just going to rotate them. And at the end of the month, you might keep some of those pieces and you might swap in a few new pieces. And this will just give you new things to wear every single month. So you're not going to get that boredom that you get when you're kind of wearing the same thing for either 12 months or 6 months or 3 months of the year. You could also do this by planning your week of outfits ahead. So if you get a rail or just a section of your wardrobe, plan your work outfits in advance and make sure there's just a bit of variety in them. That will take away that kind of decision fatigue in the morning. So if that's your reason, like it's decision fatigue you find is the biggest barrier to being excited about your wardrobe, try planning on a Sunday night 5 outfits in advance and see how you get on with that. Number 2 is to reset your clothes. So for things that you don't feel like you're wearing very often, maybe you don't want to get rid of them yet because this is a whole process and it might just be that lack of dopamine, or like you need a bit of a dopamine reset because we're too stimulated by so many things that our wardrobes are no longer stimulating. So store them away. So take a few things out of your wardrobe, store them away. This kind of goes with part 1, which is to reduce down the number of items hanging in your wardrobe. So you're going to create your mini capsule and then you're going to store away the other items for later until you're ready to wear them again. And chances are when you take them back out, you will get that bit of excitement. You'll be like, oh my God, I haven't seen that in ages, or I haven't worn that in ages. And if you're not excited at all next time you see them, or even the next time, then maybe that's when you let it go. So by doing this kind of storing away and bringing back out every month or every 3 months, this is almost like shopping your own wardrobe. You're putting something away, you're not seeing it, then you get it back and it feels new again. And that's how I love to add new pieces into my wardrobe. So yesterday, I went up to my attic and I pulled out a few more winter pieces because the weather this coming week is supposed to be super cold. So I wanted some more knitwear. And I got my black cashmere jumper back out, which I'm so happy about. And it felt really new and I've missed it. But I have thought about it a few times, but I haven't been super keen to go and get it because I'm trying to wear what's in my autumn capsule at the minute. But winter is going to start creeping through now. But it is exciting. And I even found a jumper I thought I decluttered and I realized I didn't. So that's super exciting. So having that in my wardrobe now, I'm really excited to wear it. Whereas if I had left that in my wardrobe since last winter, I would know it was there. I wouldn't have thought I got rid of it because I've seen some of my past videos and I'm like, oh, that outfit's so good and I can't believe I got rid of the jumper, but I hadn't. So I'm very excited again. So tip number 3 is to identify your style uniform. Now this might go against what I'm saying about if you're only wearing the same 2 or 3 outfits on repeat. What's great about a style uniform is that you can wear it on repeat, but it's not the exact same outfit. So it might be similar to these outfits you're wearing on repeat, where it's a similar shape or style or combination. So maybe you're always wearing just a jumper and a pair of jeans. That's fine, but you can mix in different jumpers, you can mix in different jeans, you can put different shoes and outerwear with that and make it look completely different. For me, I always say this time of year, like a roll neck or a knit and a pair of wide leg trousers or wide leg jeans is my ultimate go-to. I can mix out, like I said, it doesn't always have to be wide leg trousers, it can be wide leg jeans, it can be kind of like a nice velvet trouser to make it feel more festive. It's kind of following a similar silhouette that I love and combination that I love, but every outfit is different. So if you can identify a work uniform, a kind of weekend uniform, maybe even a date night uniform, whatever you need for your life, identify little uniforms within that, combinations you enjoy wearing, and then see within your own wardrobe, how can you make this different just by kind of swapping in different versions of the items, if that makes sense. I have a whole other video on style uniforms, so I'll link that up in the cards in case this isn't explanatory enough. Tip number 4 is to do style experiments. So recently I mentioned doing a 3-3-3, when you get 3 tops, 3 bottoms, 3 pairs of shoes. If you want to take it one step further, 3 layering pieces, and you're literally going to pair every top with every bottom, and then with every pair of shoes, and then with every different layering item, whether that's coats, blazers, cardigans, whatever you have, and just see what outfits you can create from this. And you can do this as many times as you want. I'm really keen to do another one. I posted a reel and I'll stick it here as well so you can see all the different combinations. I think I tried on 36 combinations. 2 I really didn't like, and the rest I pretty much would wear. So it's combinations that I may not have put together before, but because I forced myself to do this in a little challenge, I discovered new combinations. If you like the outfits you try on, take a photo in the mirror and save it for later. I'm sure there are plenty other style experiments you can do. You can do a 10 by 10 where you pick 10 items of clothing and try and make 10 outfits. And it's just pushing yourself to make new combinations that you may not have put together before. Sometimes even just having a different shoe than what you'd normally put with an outfit can make it feel completely different. If you want to start simpler, you could grab one piece and style it 7 different ways. So you're like, if I was going to wear this for a week, what are 7 different ways I could wear it? And just start really simply from that. Number 5 is to remove any should items, things that you feel like you should wear but don't necessarily enjoy wearing. Whether this is for work, if you're like, I should be wearing blazers, but actually you hate blazers and you'd feel way more comfortable with your style in a smart cardigan. Don't feel like you have to wear things just because somebody says these are the 10 essential pieces you need for a capsule wardrobe, or that you need certain colours in your wardrobe, like certain base colours, if they actually don't suit you. Like if I had a wardrobe full of pale grey because I thought that was a great neutral, I'd feel awful in them because that colour doesn't suit me. It suits a lot of people, but it doesn't suit me, and I prefer more like a charcoal or a darker grey. And actually I prefer brown and beiges over greys at all. So figure out what it is you love, take out the pieces that you feel like you should be wearing but you're not. Anything that creates a bit of guilt. Another should is like, I've spent so much money on this so I should wear it, but actually you don't like it. Just resell it, gift it to somebody. Forgive yourself for buying something that doesn't suit you. You know better now, you didn't then, and it's your money, you can do whatever you want with it anyway. So remove the guilt, say goodbye, thank the item for its time in your wardrobe, but send it on its merry way, and just take the guilt out of your wardrobe. Clothing and fashion and style should be fun. It shouldn't be too serious, and if you're feeling guilt and you're feeling should in your wardrobe, just get rid. So I hope this video has helped you feel like you don't need more clothes to have more outfits or to fix how you're feeling with your wardrobe. You actually need to just pare it back. You don't also need to get rid of things. You just need to store them away. You need to kind of edit. I don't want to keep saying need because I feel a bit bossy when I do. But ideally, you would just edit down your wardrobe into smaller bite-sized capsules, whether it's weekly, monthly, or seasonally, and it will feel so much better, I promise you. Even if you feel like your whole wardrobe is a total mess right now and there is no coming back from it, I guarantee you will find something in there that you do love. It just takes a little bit of experimenting, a bit of kind of seeing your wardrobe with fresh eyes, and just trying something a little bit new maybe. And once you understand what actually excites you and what you enjoy wearing, getting dressed is going to feel so much better. If this video helped, I would love for you to subscribe. I'll share lots of videos on fashion psychology and how to build a wardrobe you love. Comment below what was one thing you noticed in your wardrobe that makes you feel like you have outfit fatigue. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.